Sure, so my name is Orla Stevens and I'm an artist. I'm currently based in Callander, which is just down the road, about 2 miles away from where we are just now at McGregor. And this place is very special to me. It's become increasingly so over lockdown. I moved to Callander about a year ago now, and this has become the go-to place to be able to get outside and just access nature on the doorstep as a kind of really quick getaway, if you like. This place in particular is very special because of its accessibility in the way that that the landscape changes. From the cycle ride from my house, it's all quite landlocked, and you're in a valley, so you're surrounded by the hills, and then here it just opens out and you get this incredible skyscape. And I think that shift in light is probably a big reason why I have an emotional connection to it, because of the dramatic change that you get when you get here. You get this real sense of arrival. The moment you get to the head of the loch, it's like, whoa, okay, I'm somewhere different now. And it gives you that feeling of freedom, I think. Well, it's practical. You have to work really fast because you get cold so quick. So that puts a time limit on what you're able to capture, which I think sharpens your focus. So when I'm working outside, you're just trying to really, really see what's going on, and it's more about what you're taking in, getting that down on the page as fast as possible. And so this way of working is really nice because you just have to capture what you're feeling and what you're saying there and then, and that in itself is just how it is, and you have to be content with that, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. It's just whatever you're able to get in the moment, and that in itself is really nice, I think. I've absolutely fallen in love with Orkney. There's something really special about the energy of that coastline when you're between island and sea, and you've just got the force and all that space right in front of you. It's just something else. It's so different to the atmosphere here in central mainland Scotland. Yeah, it's just super special, and I think it's been really, really inspiring this year for my work, being able to translate that wildness really into my work. I think it's given me permission within my painting practice just to loosen up even more and be even more expressive and use a wider range of colour and really hone into using texture to try and capture the landscape. So the way I approached the Nordic Viola work, I was able to tune into how I interpreted and felt the music, what I felt was really emotionally charged about them, the kind of direction I wanted to go in, looking at the landscape and thinking about the stories that I gathered from the composers that went into the influence their pieces. And then when we were on Orkney, it was trying to pull all of those qualities together. And when I came back to the studio, back to Callander, I gathered some colours which I felt responded to the music as well. And so it was a way of kind of patchworking all of these ideas together when I came home. So for Elsewhen, I was particularly driven by Lillie's storytelling. Elsewhen had this really sense of kind of foreboding to me. It was really something ethereal and otherworldly. I was particularly interested in how I could get that in the colour and this reference to figures of the past. So with her piece I was building up in layers, kind of like going back and forward in time. When I was talking to Linda about her composition and the way she worked, she said it was really about this kind of sense of the landscape and the sense of the history. So it might not have been so factual in reference, but it was more driven by emotion, the way she composed, so I wanted to reflect that. Gemma's piece, Carry His Relics, was much more driven by a narrative and it felt much more structured. I wanted to reflect that in the way that I created her painting, so I used more literal reference within the piece. So the painting I created for that depicts Egglesey, and that's the location where St Magnus was martyred. So I wanted a definite reference point there, and she said that she composed in thirds as well when she was creating the piece. It's a tool that she uses quite a lot. So I created the painting in 3 panels to reference her point of musical view in the way she created the piece.